Zuri Shaddai, Evi Shaddai, AI. Zuri Shaddai, ooh, she knows Abamatua, Safina, Hania, Zaria, Allah is appearing. She knows. Zuri Shaddai, Evi Shaddai, AI. Zuri Shaddai, ooh, she knows Abamatua, Safina, Hania, Zaria, Allah is appearing. She knows. Ooh, she knows Abamatua, Safina, Hania, Zaria, Allah is appearing. She knows. She knows. Zuri Shaddai, Evi Shaddai, AI. Zuri Shaddai, ooh, she knows Abamatua, Safina, Hania, Zaria, Allah is appearing. She knows. She knows.
Hey, greater light. Greater light. Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. Right? Come on, say that he will. He'll do the best fulfill. You don't want to lose love. I'm so excited. Hey, before I get into my daily confirmation of my mind is God's mind, my proclamation, my declaration. Look. Elon, stop lying. I don't know what that was out there. Huh? And it is real. I don't know who it represents. I don't know nothing about it. I could come up with all types of perspective of what that was, but that wasn't no SpaceX. Huh? And it wasn't imaginary. And it wasn't made up. And whatever it is, it's connected with UK. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they not doing a big festive like they did last year. Was that last year or 2 years ago? Can't even tell now how time is speeding up and slowing down. When everybody was getting ready for the big what's that, solar eclipse. And I'm talking about it all over. Everybody was going live about it except me. I was like, I'm not even going out there. Ain't nobody getting prepared for that, because whatever that was out there, whatever that swirl was that they trying to imitate the swirl of the conch shell, whatever that swirl was, like they trying to imitate whatever the Milky Way is, whatever that swirl was out there, that was not no SpaceX. They need to stop that line. Now they really, they going above and beyond with lies. See, all of the people, those who are native to heaven, all 12 tribes is coming. I don't know which tribe that represent or who they is. I don't know nothing about it. But I do know that that was not SpaceX. They need to cut. Let let me show show y'all. I don't I, I don't want to know who it is so bad. I have not clicked on any of the news about it. All I did was just like how I did the screenshot earlier of the list of everybody talking about it. I did not listen to no news about it. I did have not clicked a link. As I look at it, I can assume that it's artificial, some type of artificial manufactured thing, but it's not. It's not. That's not SpaceX. But whatever it is, looking like something out of the Twilight Zone or something out of an old Star Trek movie or something, whatever it is, it's connected to Prime Minister Modi them and this eclipse that they got that they finna try to play with, along with the ceremony, the shard ceremony for this Bitcoin stuff that I'm gonna read about coming that Jesus mentioned. See, when Jesus came, he did it in flesh. And we not battling flesh anymore. He handled that for us. So when I read it, I could see the what it's connected to. When I'll get to it. I ain't gonna go on and on like that. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think why God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution to every single one of my needs. You say amen. I say, God, you promise. God is keeping his promises to me. You can say lie. I say, God, you promise. God is keeping his promises to me. Now, see, I know that whatever that was in the sky ain't got nothing to do with me because I came through green light. I came through green lights. And when my grandmother transitioned, the green lights let me know they was out there. They made sure green lightning. When she transitioned, as soon as she transitioned, green lightning. Yes. And I'm not the only one that is a witness to it. Everybody in this community witnessed it. As a matter of fact, oh man, one of the community leaders or creators who came through to see me one time, the I wanted to let him know that lightning strike the night that my grandmother transitioned and the green lightning hit and knocked out all the power in that church. Hit and knocked out all the power on in that church, and it's on the news. He'll know who I'm talking to. He'll know who I'm talking about. A lot of people may know that's in the close network, but I just wanted to relay that message. I wanted to relay that message. Anyways, Elon, stop lying. What's the purpose of the lie? What's the purpose? Was the purpose to see child boo? Let on to the next subject. Whatever that is out there, and whatever the plan is. If it wasn't you, you don't need to be lying because y'all in trouble. Y'all at Elon, there's room at the cross for you. Change your ways. You must be born again. You must be born again. Then you see how you got tricked too, huh? Out of all that you claim you trying to do, that's good. You done got tricked too, huh? Huh? No, not you. Not you. Now you got to do whatever they tell you to do. Not you. You got to do whatever they babysitting your child as hostage, huh? Not you. You've been tricked too. Elon, who's been threatening you? Huh? You know, the only way for you to get out of it, I told you, this several times. Message to the Nawapians one more time. The days are going, the numbers are coming down. I told you, you better go back through. You had less than 30 days. Less than 30 days for the head elders, whether the whole nation go or not, all of the elders from every part of the world, all of the Nawapian elders of every part of the world, the Nawapians in Bahamas, the Nawapians in Africa, the Nawapians in South America, all the Nawapian head leaders. Prince need to find his way on back here. Y'all have less than 30 days to go and assemble in front of that prison. All right. I keep saying it and I'm saying it. All right. All right. I mean, y'all gods, right? Y'all say y'all gods, so y'all got the funds. It shouldn't be no problem. Everybody should be able to hop on a flight right now, like right now. That shouldn't be hard. Elon, there is no Mars for you. There is no Mars. And you must be born again. It would have been better for you that you had traveled back in time and burnt at Sodom. Sodom would do better than you right now because Mars ain't nothing but another hell spot. And the reason why it is mandated that I say to you to be born again, because right now you have more power than everybody in authority in the world. Even though Trump throwing his weight around and sitting on and got his foot on your neck, that if you were to be born again, it would trickle down throughout the Starlink system. Huh? No? Oh, no? Okay. All right, then. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. So I said I was going to come back, but I feel like they're going to do what they did last time. Soon as I get into start talking about the polka dot, the leopard of the Bitcoin, uh, the polka dot trust that the Grays is moving in, uh, and they letting you know all up and through here how they're going to take control through a key generation ceremony. Gonna put you in far a day cages. They got baskets to store you in. Some are gonna be in cold storages. Some are gonna be transferred to hot storages. See, uh, they got all the gates of hell in this. Oh, I'm not showing it here. They got all the gates of hell. I'm not making it up. And when I go to read to you what Jesus had to say in Matthew 11, you'll know that he was talking about this same document right here. They say, when we finish with the key ceremony, I wonder if that thing that was swirling out there was part of a key ceremony, whatever it is. I'm not for to act like I know what that is. But I do know that that wasn't SpaceX. SpaceX don't even take that route. None of his ships ever took that route, y'all, to go all the way up there to France. There's a boy, ain't they lying? Huh? You lying lions. Huh? The ones that wear lion suit. Y'all killed the lion and put on the rug. Elon, why you lying to the people? They got their foot on your neck. The Pope did that. Which one of them did it? France. France did it. Everything about France now, too. Like I said, I didn't open up none of them links, but I saw the word France around the word swirl. I saw the word UK around the swirl. They got swirls and polka dots, all type of flavors, all type, all, all types of hell they want to put you in. You don't have to believe. I listen. I was over at where smoke was rising. I was over there today. I didn't stay over there long. As soon as I heard that OG voice and tone with they lying, scamming behind, trying to sound all concerned. They talk about what they don't believe in because they didn't get jab. There's a lot of people didn't get the jab. Huh? How you feel about 23andMe? Those who study to show themselves approved like me. I've always been researched and developed on it. He was too. All the years that he smoked crack, that was part of research and development. But if you didn't get the shot and all, you should be able to see these documents. You don't believe in none of the stuff for the government, but you believe in their taxation and their money and their land. You believe in their land and their money when these people telling you we finna take you to the spirit of 1776. You okay with that? So you got to be on their side. You got to be Team Elon and Team Prime Minister Modi and other. I don't believe in the government and the government schemes and their religions, but their whole system, this whole federal register and their taxation is all based on religion. Taxing people to pay to stay on land that don't belong to them in the first place. This land is your land. This land is my land. The children are supposed to run and roam this land freely. You abiding by and saying, yes, I want generational wealth. That all sounds like generational scamming from the beginnings of time. These documents and they telling you what they about to do. They say we for the join forces with UK. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in what they writing. We have more power. If we have more power, then what is the purpose of you trying to tell people that they can be free? Oh, that's not what you're telling people. You telling them how you want to join in the taxation. The taxation gonna come through Bitcoin or whatever these coins that they got right here. Trump owns 75% of World Liberty Bank. And his World Liberty Bank LLC is being attached to the federal treasury. The US dollar. And he said he living for the spirit of 1776. Where was your ancestors in 1776? Oh, they was taxation in the people and owning the land. Uh, uh, enough about that. It's just because I heard that and it just made me sick to my stomach. It made me sick to literally sick to my stomach. That where I had diarrhea all day. Soon as I heard and listened, and I said that all day, it just eased up. look, look at what look right here. Once they generate the private keys, your private keys is your light code. And separated it into shards, their funerary processions. After the key generation ceremony, all materials used to generate the private keys, including computers. Who knows about trust? Ain't nobody talk about trust more than what's his name? Naughty and somebody else know a lot of information about trust. If they can explain what this trust means, it's and what this trust mean in this document right here. After they finish the ceremonies, no party other than the custodian, including the trust itself, has access to the private keys or the shards, the funerary procession of the trust. Now, no, they're not talking about people. Yes, they are. Look, they said, let us explain. Let us break it down for you. Private key shards are distributed geographically in secure vaults around the world, including the United States. The locations of the secure vaults may change regularly and are kept confidential by the custodian. That's why Elon keeps saying he needs to get access to everybody's social security number. Y'all haven't been seeing that and seeing how he keep putting in the request? It's a request in there right now. Not just in Congress, but in Federal Register. Didn't y'all say that the social security number, the birth certificate is part of the trust? And all he keep hawking on right now is this is the last thing I need. I need to have access to social security, everybody's social security information. No? Okay. All right. It don't matter whether you got jabbed. It don't matter whether you took a 23andMe, because every time you went to the hospital, they took your blood, and your blood was set for sale through the hospitals. Don't act like when you was out there on drugs, you didn't go and sell your blood. Everybody blood is in some bank somewhere. But the thing is, your light code that it accepts love and light and not scamming, hatred, backbiting, evil, all the things that the devil stands for. That light code will cover your blood. That's what it means. Your blood will be covered, and they won't be able to do anything with your blood. Keep you here another 1,000 years in the wheel that they turn. Y'all see the wheel? Whatever this spiral is, they let you know the part of their ceremony. Whatever this spiral is out there, talking about that's the spaceship. Whatever this spiral is, that went over Big Ben and Notre Dame and wherever else it did. That's the wheel. They part of their ceremony, part of this same ceremony that's right in here. What's this ceremony? Prime Minister Modi. It probably went all the way down to India. That spiral probably went all the way across India. Back to it. It say, well, we finish, and there's a part in here about the key. I think they deleted it out. Y'all know what it took for me to find this document again? They took it, and the one that I was reading for the 25th, they went and changed that when they put a new one up for the 26th, and they took some words out of this one right here. So there was a part where I read to you where it said that now I'd rather find it or either replay that one that I did. I don't want to misquote anything in this document. So here they say, then once we get your asset, that they have to shut down all the computers, everything. When they do this transfer ceremony, all lines will have to be shut off or destroyed. Everything has to be shut off. So whether it's going to be all the computer systems are going to shut off for 1 minute, whether it's going to shut off for 10 minutes, however long that they need the system to shut off to reboot. Remember, that was something that was supposed to happen in 2000. Y'all remember? And every time it was time for this reset, people been waiting on this big reset. I don't know if this reset is going to happen in the twinkling of an eye, but in this document, it says it needs to, everything will have to be offline in order for them to reboot back up for this ceremony. When they finish this ceremony, initiation of this ceremony, this 1776, we going to take you back. But we not taking you back because we not worried about your flesh. You are now in a time zone where you will not be judged by your flesh or the color of your flesh or anything that has to do with this land. We want to purchase your light code. It has been predicted time and time again. Your grandma's told you the story. You heard them when they said they want to buy your soul, and they have the layers of hell to put you in. Oh no, Dante's Inferno is not fake. And where the Kraken is, all that is right here in it. Here it is. Again, we got the cold part of hell. We have the hot part where we gonna serve you. Look how it put right here. The digital wallet may receive deposits, but look. Wait, right here. Cold storage of private keys may involve keeping such keys on a non-network or air-gap computer or electronic device, or storage or private keys on a storage device or printed medium. For example, papyrus, y'all. Papyrus. They still writing on papyrus, huh? Paper or a metallic object. They saying whatever is on a document that's going to try to get away and be released up here light code, we got to play for that too. We got a storage for that too. Because as you're in this wheel, when it's time for you to try to come out of the wheel, don't worry, we gonna make sure you still locked in papyrus, because you are the living word. So those of you who worship the land and will stay on the land and say we belong to Egypt, we don't belong. There is no God above all gods. No, well, they want to make sure that your word, your living word of light, can still be placed on papyrus. And for those who like taxation of the land and all that, all the good stuff that they like, the paper dollar, you could stay right on the paper dollar. They're gonna make sure your light code has a place in the cold parts of hell, of where there's the air and it's very windy. And for those who believe that they attach to the metals, I worship the rock and the crystals, they got a place for you right here. They make sure they think they got a place for everybody who gonna be left behind. You don't want to be left behind in what they got going on. And said that don't worry, if the cold storage is not for you, we have the hot storage. Who is going to be the custodian? Who's going to have ownership and control? You could think it might be Trump just because he got 75% right now. Who knows what's going to happen? It could be the little horn that gets full control and access. They could be very well waiting for him to get a hold, total control and access. In the same way they did him when they pretended he got shot in the ear and then did a surgery and stuck a Oh, whatever Elon took and stuck uh, behind his ear to brainwash him and make him forget all the things he said. Y'all remember he wasn't feeling Elon one bit unless again he was playing tricks and treats. Because remember, he didn't put his hand on the Bible. When he took office this time, he did not put his hand on any of them Bibles. His wife was standing there with a handful of books. And the judge standing over there. Trump did not put his hand on the Bible, y'all. So whatever it is that he got going on, talking about 1776, the spirit of 1776, 250 years ago, which is going to be next year, and this ceremony right here. They say we need everything. We need your usernames, your passcode codes, your private key shards. Trust, trust, trust. You believe what in God you trust? Which God you trust? Because this right here is going to be owned by UK, Prime Minister Modi, China, and somebody else. But remember, Prime Minister Modi, his name means Lord of Lords. What's his name? Trump is living in the spirit of St. Patrick. Little Horn, I don't know what Little Horn up to. But beware. That's Vance. You can't mess with they stables. They stables coin means they putting the horses in the stable. All over again, 1776. Here are the names of the indexes of their trading platforms. Bitfinex, Bitstamp, Bullish, Bibit, Crypto, Gemini, Kraken, and OKX. Now I'm going to stop for a second because all these names right here is in Matthew 11 where Jesus spoke. No, you go to Matthew 11 and you could go to verses 22 on down. The Chorazin is one of these names here. Bethesda is one of these names here. The Kraken represents the fish, the sea. The Gemini is the house. The OKX is the rock or the seashells. The bull speaks for itself. But these words right here, even though back then he was dealing with the flesh, he dealt with the flesh so we don't have to. But he also put a light code in this because he wanted you to know that they was going to come to try to take and buy and purchase your light. And we had to be able to rightly divide the word of truth. Because they're fighting the word with the word. So that's why there's rumors of wars. Look how they use the word believe in this trust. Trust and reason and belief in on the same block. You said it ain't going to take effect till 2030 or 30 or 40 years from now. It says as of December 31st, 2024. That's my grandmother's birthday. In flesh, Eloise, her birth is December 31st. As of December 31st, 2024, the digital asset trading platform included the index Bitfinex, Remember, stamp and taxation was a 1776 issue. Bullish, the bull. The bull is the meat that they put the offering up to what you call it? What do they say? Barbecue. The crypt, of course, we know that's the grave. The twins, they always have how many twin towers that they got? That's physical form. But they had to throw a twin tower somewhere in this transition of light. As further described below, the sponsor, the sponsor, and the trust reasonably believe each of these digital asset trading platforms are a material compliance with applicable licensing requirements based on trading platform category and jurisdiction. Jurisdiction over what? Your soul. No, they talking about the areas. Remember, you're not dealing with flesh and blood. Jurisdiction over your soul. So that's why they say, well, you want to make sure, know your customers. What? This comply with anti-money laundering and know your customers. You got anti-Christ and anti-money. No, they said no. They trying to protect us from the laundering of bitcoins, of the litecoins. No, they did that. That was the practice and the research and the beta testing all this time. That's not what they talking about. They talking about washing those whose souls supposedly gonna be washed and away from here. They is against that. And they got a whole protection to try to keep you locked in, and that's what this ceremony about. Because they want to make sure they do the right thing to make you accept this. You accepted that a privatized LLC can take full control of the commerce, treasury, and your social security. And you all right with it. But you could be complaining all these years about not having your UCC, OC, and rights to your old birth certificates and your trust, the whole play that people been all these years trying to get out of. They getting ready to do it right now in your face, clear as day. Whatever they did so many hundreds of years ago, they doing it right now again in your face. Are you okay with it? As long as the money look right, as long as I got my land. When war break out, you do not have the title or control of your land. Now, those who probably continuously serve with the U.S. government, they will still have the title of their land. Y'all watch and see which community leaders still have the title of their land in the time of war, when they come and they start breaking down doors and say, yes, no, we said we need your real ID. We need your social security. We need your number right now. Oh, you don't accept? Oh, you accept Jesus? Okay. You don't accept the mark of the beast? You don't accept the polka dot? You don't accept the dragon? You don't accept the kraken? You don't accept the, okay. So Bitstamp is ruled by UK. These are the heads that's in Revelation. Bitfinex is British Virgin Islands. Bullish, they ain't even talking about who Bullish is, but if you go and look at who Gibraltar is, or Gibraltar, the Mount of Tariq, a North African military leader in the 8th century. That's who they finding and founding that after. So I guess that's gonna rule and run Africa. They don't even have but it that you say you don't have to worry. It's not available to the U.S. based, uh, but it is going to be controlled over the African continent to those who claim to be African, and maybe your light code will be transferred over because you claimed African American anyway. So since you claimed Africa, the Babit is the Arabian Nights. They doing it all over again. Of course, the crypt is for the Singapore. Gemini is where the Twin Towers is, just a replacement of the Twin Towers. This is the house that it's coming out of. Gemini is the house that this ceremony is going to take place. Wonder who is cracking. It says Kraken, a U.S.-based trading platform registered as an MSBN, a FinCEN, there's the fish, and licensed as money transmitter in various U.S. states. Kraken does not hold a bit license, but Kraken, I'm thinking. I seen the Kraken platform and who the owner is, but why Prime Minister Modi keeps coming to mind? And OKX, that's the seashells, the shillings, or the rock. Now, when I read this Matthew 11, it's up to you to go and see which one of these words, each one of these places that he say, woe unto them, that is connected to each one of these places in light code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, what else did I see in this document before I go into read that? It's so much in here. License included in principle, licensure, United Kingdom, European Union, Hong Kong, Singapore, and maintain sufficient USD or USDC liquidity relative to the size of the listed assets. In the event the traded platform is only licensed or able to serve investors in select European countries and none of the other listed jurisdictions, index provider reserves the right to evaluate its eligibility on a case by case basis. Trust shareholders. Now, remember what I told y'all about the shareholding. In the shareholding part that has to do with Elon Musk, when he offered to send, what is the word that he used? He said, we will be sending out it's another word for you becoming a shareholder to the SpaceX foundation. When they sent out the stimulus, he used another word in place of it, and that word for the stimulus has to do with you being a shareholder. So I wonder, is the other 25% the United States uh, beings who sign on to the shareholding program that Elon proposes to implement through Doge? And this is where you get caught up in that signature when you accept the funds that he will send out. So you'll have World Liberty owning 75% or having 75% of custodial over the USD1, and then Elon or SpaceX having the other 25%. I don't know. I don't know. Again, this is cryptic, but it's not, because the main part that let you know what they want to do to you and through you and how much of you they need in the transition of money. They keep talking about this 4 p.m. and that's not the shutdown of NASDAQ. It's totally connected to Revelations 13, I think. The fork, event of a fork. What ran and the fork ran away with a spoon? An event of the fork. The bullish, the cow jumped over the moon. Oh, the dish ran away with the spoon. The dish. The dish ran away with the spoon. All right, enough of that. Let me read the scripture. Nope, look at that. The creation and redemption. They go into the beginning and the end. The creation and the redemption of baskets. Baskets, fish, baskets. The basket, with a basket being a block of 10,000 shares. The trust issues shares to and redeem shares from authorized participants on an ongoing basis, but only in one or more baskets. The creation and redemption of baskets will be made only in exchange for the delivery to the trust or the distribution by the trust of the number of whole and fractional, the dots, dot, represented by each basket being created or redeemed. The eighth decimal place. Transfers, liquidation, cash accounts, may be required to deposit additional cash in the cash account or be entitled to receive excess cash from the cash account in connection with creations and redemptions pursuant of actual execution cash orders. Oh, this is why he wanted to privatize the post office. Cashier checks. This is why he wanted. That's another thing that what's his name is trying to do. Privatize the post office. So they have the far day and the intraday. The far day and the intraday. 15 seconds. 15 seconds of fame. Real time update. The spot. There's the spot again. They call it the polka dot and the spot. The Chicago Merchants. The Chicago Merchants. Surveillance sharing agreement. Mm, 40,000 shares. Trading halts. Surveillance, surveillance, surveillance. Information circular share baskets. I'm about to get out of here off of this because the other day when I was on here and they kept blocking me, I just left it alone. I said, I'm not gonna push it because I know what I see. But then when I saw that little thing in the sky and they talking about that's Elon, look at the index. Dot trading platforms included in the index. The Kraken gonna have more people at the bottom of hell than at. I'm just saying. Remember, this is how they're gonna purchase your light, and this determines where you are in this replay of the 1776 reconstruction, where Trump said they living in the spirit of 1776. And if you accept the mark of the beast and what we have, you accept the dollars and you accept the fund, you will let us buy your soul. This is where 171 billion people is going to be in Kraken. Crypto is only going to be for those. There you go. Now, look where Gemini at. Look how many millions of people. That's going to be the poor people. That's going to be the. You only make up 5%. And what they said is how many people demons control hell's the hell of Kraken right here. Look, 9% of the demons. But they got 59% of the demons is gonna control Gemini. Gemini. I wonder if this all adds up to 72 right here. Oh, it says 36. Oh, there's that 3 to 6 to 6. Oh no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It just about adds up to they 72 demons. Because there's the 32.45% and the 36.60. Ooh, they ready for your behind, boy. You want to be left behind in this mess. Let me go to the scripture. Let me go to the scripture. There's your layers of hell right there. There's Dante's Inferno. Hmm? Let me see where the basketball players, the goats, and all them at. The goats is gonna be at the Bitfinex. That's what that. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, they gonna be in that population. The Bitfinex. Oh, when they get back down here, they go reverse, reverse. It's a lot of beings going to be in the bullish. Look how many demons they need to control. They need 17% of their demons to control the bullish society that'll be left behind. Oh boy. It says authorized participants places a creation order with the transfer agent. Wait, after the ceremony, up here, don't forget to go back up to the ceremony now. They say the places in order where they get to create the hell for you. Cash equals required creation cash is delivered to the liquidity 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 provider from the cash account out of the baskets. Oh boy. Y'all don't get left behind. Don't get left behind in this mess, y'all. Don't accept the mark of the beast. I know it's gonna be hard. And the $5,000 may look good, or 1,200, however much they gonna send this time around. And this time around is not something you want to sign on to if you don't read this fine print. If that fine print say they may make it even look better. They might be like, look, you deserve more than 5,000. We'll send you $5,000.01. Oh boy. Oh boy. Mm. Let me tell you a story. This is a true story. This is based on a true story. When I was out there in the wilderness, a proclaimed warlock, a truly proclaimed warlock. He said he was a warlock and that he had got saved, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't judge and see whether because he does so much in the community, right? And the place that was helping shelter me, I didn't realize that it was a coven of witches. Some of them, I believe, are not aware that that it's a covenant, and some of them I know for sure know and are aware. But I wasn't so sure. I kept investigating, kept, you know, until the last day that I decided to look at the flags. And when I looked at the flags, that's when I really truly realized, where I was and where I was standing and the purpose and the reason why I was there in the first place. But while again, the warlock who told me his testimony and said what he had to say gave me $100. He just shook my hand, and I opened my hand, he had $100 folded in my hand. And I said, "No, he said, "No, it's a seed. You seed this where you want to seed it." And something in me knew that if I spent not a cent of that money while I was out there homeless, not nobody, not even people that in the community that knew I was homeless, sent or offered to help me with money, including the one who came through while I was still out there. Not one. And I'm talking about that right there could have put me in a room for a couple of days. I would sleep behind the bread bank or under the tree. But I knew in my heart that if I spent 1 cent of that money, that it would be my soul. It meant something against my soul. As I continued looking at the environments that were helping me, I realized how connected that this warlock was, but I didn't ask any questions. It was revealed to me. And so the pastor of the church said, "Oh, he used to be here with us and then he left." So if this self-proclaimed warlock was in this environment that I kept saying in my mind and heart that it was a covet, and he left after he said he gave his heart to Christ, then that answered all the questions that I needed to answer. But what I did is they had a head of their covet come over from Africa, and this head of the covet with all their funds saw us as homeless and people like me. And after I'd cleaned their temple, would drop me off to my homeless spot to sleep behind the bread bank. Did not offer to put me in a room or anything. It's a true story now. And so the next day they were saying that this head of their one of their heads needed funds to get on a plane. Not that he really needed it, but and I gave that seed to the same head with big houses and homes and could travel. I placed that seed back into them. I didn't spend a dime of it. Now I'm saying this story because that's when you know, oh, this is a deja vu. When you know the truth and you live by truth, everything around you will be revealed so that you don't put your soul at risk of being left behind or being fed to the demons that want to feed on your light after God comes to take you into the kingdom to cleanse this earth for the last time. Again, I have no judgment of those beings that I was encountering because every single one of them, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of love and light, the reason why it is for them too. It's for anyone who does not want to be left behind in wickedness and evil. And I'm talking about all of the evil that could be compiled, the worst nightmares, all of the different Freddy Kruegers, all of the different nightmares is what's going to be here for them to feed on, especially if they're going back to 1776. The spirit of 1776 goes back to slavery 1776 billion years ago. Now let me read. This part that I'm reading in Matthew 11 is Jesus promises rest for the soul. Mind your mind for the rest of your soul. This right here is the rest of the story. This right here is about the rest of your soul. These things that you see are going on, it's not fictitious. It's not a game. It's real. The parts that are simulated and made for beta testing, they have tested on beings time and time again to make sure to finally get it right. So they can have the fun that was promised to them. They will be loosed to have whatever before their last, like a final party, huh? Because there are those who love evil and wickedness. And because everyone had a choice. You know, the whole beginning of the story about heaven and earth is that the demons proclaimed that they didn't have a choice in worshiping God. That's the way the Ellen G. White tells the story. The demons proclaimed that they did not have a choice. And they start whispering to Lucifer, we don't have a choice. We got to bow down and worship you all the time. This is not by free will. We've been here for eternity, bowing down, singing together. We don't have a choice to do what we want to do. And that's why all of this last time, everyone has a choice. You have the right to choose. People who want to hearken on the history of slavery, you didn't have a right. You had to be a slave. If that's the perspective and the scenario or the realm that you believe that existed before you got here, and no, it's a story. It's a story of a time and place where people didn't have a choice. They had a choice to either accept the slavery or die, which was still a choice. But survival makes you want to live. And then the stories time and time before that, they chose to be a slave. I don't mind being a slave, because if I don't be a slave, they will take me up to the top of the pyramid or take me to the top of a volcano. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's how the stories go. This time you have the right to choose. You have they especially the democracy gave you all the rights to choose. Rainbow Coalition, you got the right. You can choose, you can be whatever. Even though they say anti-Semitism doesn't, you can say whatever really. How many people get on YouTube and say all the stuff they want to say, ain't none really been arrested? And that's how about they say all kind of stuff that just don't make no sense. They still been running live for years. Uh, I mean, crime happens, things happen, but you literally most of the things that we have right now, you have a choice. Choose ye this day. Matthew 11. When Jesus had finished giving these instructions to his 12 disciples, he went off preaching in the cities where they were scheduled to go. So they were on a schedule. Oh, no, you thought Jesus just went wherever he wanted. He said in the scripture, I didn't come here on my own. This ain't on my own will. I was sent. No, don't worship me. Worship God who sent me. And I'm on a schedule. My mind is, this is not my thoughts. My mind is God's mind. And I'm just the messenger. I'm delivering a message. So he was on a schedule. That's why every time they tried to kill him in prior times, he was like, oh, nope, I'm on God's schedule. Nope, you can't kill me yet. I don't care what you do. You can't kill me yet. I'm on God's schedule. It's God's time, not yours. So John the Baptist, who was now in prison, heard about all the miracles the Messiah was doing. So he sent the disciples to ask Jesus, "Are you really the one we are waiting for, or shall we keep on looking?" So, y'all remember, John baptized Jesus. Y'all remember that, right? And John is his cousin. Somehow, I don't know if in the midst of him being in prison, he, had to send a message. It's really you. Jesus told them, "Go back to John and tell him about the miracles you've seen me do. The blind people I've healed, and the lame people now walking without help, and the cured lepers, and the deaf who hear, and the dead raised to life. And tell him about my preaching the good news to the poor. Then give him this message: Blessed are those who don't doubt me." When John's disciples had gone, Jesus began talking about him to the crowds. "When you went out into the barren wilderness to see John, what did you expect him to be like? Grass blowing in the wind? Or were you expected to see a man dressed like a prince in a palace, or a prophet of God? Yes, he is more than just a prophet. For John is the man mentioned in the scriptures, a messenger to precede me, to announce my coming and prepare people to receive me. Truly, of all men ever born, none shines more brightly than John the Baptist. And yet, even the lesser lights, and yet, even the lesser lights in the kingdom of heaven will be greater than he is." And from the time John the Baptist began preaching and baptizing until now, ardent multitudes have been crowding toward the kingdom of heaven. For all the laws and prophets look forward to the Messiah. Then John appeared, and if you are willing to understand what I mean, he is Elijah. And the one of the prophets said would come at the time the kingdom begins. If ever you are willing to listen, listen now. What shall I say about this nation? These people are like children playing who say to their little friends, "We played wedding and you weren't happy. So we played funeral, but you weren't sad." For John the Baptist doesn't even drink wine and often goes without food, and you say he's crazy. And I, the Messiah, feast and drink, and you complain that I'm glutton and a drinking man and hang around the worst sort of sinners. But brilliant men like you can justify your every inconsistency. You know who came to mind on that scripture? Jesus promised the rest for the soul. I want to read that one more time because I know you listening. It's just for you. This is what they say about you. Huh? What shall I say about this station? These people are like children playing who say to their little friends, "We played wedding and you weren't happy. So we played funeral, but you weren't sad. For you or thee, you don't even drink wine and often go without food, and you say she's crazy." And I, the Messiah, feast and drink, and you complain that I'm glutton and crazy. And that I hang around with the worst of sinners. But brilliant men like you can't even justify your inconsistency. I'm just saying, like, you could take this and read this to them. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because Jesus said that you would do greater. Then he began to pour out his denunciations against the cities where he had done most of the miracles because they hadn't turned to God. Here now, Jesus, the first time I read this, when I'm not even going to say the time frame, or where I was, but it was in the early 90s when I read the Bible back and forth three times. Well, I might as well say it in the first 3 months that I was incarcerated. And when I got to this part, I said to myself, I said, boy, see, like, the reason why John the Baptist got his head cut off is because Jesus made this statement right here. And then Jesus went in on a rampage. He went in on a rant. Whoa! Unto the cities where he had done most of his miracles. He said, woe to Chorazin. Woe to you, Bethesda. That's these places right here. Let me blow it up for you. The translation for these areas in Hebrew is right here. For if the miracles I did in your streets had been done in wicked Tyre or Sidon, their people would have repented long ago in shame and humility. Truly, that meaning, like, if I would have had the money and the funds, they would have believed a long time ago. That's what Jesus said. Truly, Tyre and Sidon will be better off on the judgment day than you. And Kaepernick, though highly honored, shall go down to hell. For if the marvelous miracles I did in you had been done in Sodom, and y'all know Sodom means mountain of fire, a hot place, it would still be here today. So truly, Sodom would be better off at judgment day than you. He'd given off the worst places for those men who are inconsistent and lying to the people. This ain't even about the sinners. It's about the brilliant men, the greater lights who choose to see this stuff going on and feed you the distractions or plan on being part of this right here. It would be better that the worst nightmares would be better off than what's going to happen to you thinking that you going to be on the top rank somewhere with these beings who planning to take beings light and purchase their light and put them in the spirit of 1776 million years ago, 1776,000 years ago of slavery, and 177600 years ago of slavery and war and bloodshed and massacre. And Jesus prayed this prayer. So Jesus ranted and then he prayed. Our Father who art in heaven, thank you for hiding the truth from those who think themselves so wise and for revealing it to the little children. Yes, Father, for it pleased you to do it this way. I want to say that again. My God who art in heaven, thank you for hiding the truth from those on a big platforms, those who help hide the truth. Thank you for hiding the truth from them, but allowing the little children to see. Uh, Allowing every child that I was able to be part of their lives. I'm talking about half of the children that I helped raise after the fact are now grown children. Thank you for allowing the children to see the truth. For it pleased you to do it this way. Everything has been entrusted to me by you. Only you know the Son, and the Father is known only by the Son and by those whom the Son reveals him. Come to me and I'll give you rest. All you who work so hard beneath this heavy indoctrination. Wear my yoke, for it fits perfectly. And let me teach you, for I am gentle and humble, and you shall find rest for your souls, for I give you only light. I give you only light. That's Jesus talking. That ain't me. I mean, sometimes what I'm saying, talking, it sound like, but Jesus said you would do greater. He said, I left a light code. Huh? I want you to remember as we're at the Last Supper. Huh? Study your flesh and study your blood. And you don't have to fight against the flesh and blood. I already did it. I give you light because they're coming against you, the living word. You were the word with God before the foundations of all this man-made stuff. And I'm here to remind you. That's what Jesus said. And all of the power of God is within you. And you armor up in love and light. Because when they come to buy your soul, you're going to make the right choice. And I'm going to prepare a place. I know it's taken a long time, but it takes a long time to make sure that the city is perfect for those who have endured to the end. For those who made the right choice. It's, 144,000 beings that was sent. But there's a number that you can't even count, like the sands of the seas. Have you ever picked up a hand of sand and been able to count each grain? One grain is powerful enough to run a whole computer. But I tell you, I'm going to prepare a place for that many beings who endure to the end. You don't want to be left behind in what they got left here, huh? You don't want to be part of the polka dot program. All right? Okay, because they greater light, greater light, greater light, greater light. Let me get on over here and let me do. I didn't blow my conch, y'all. today. Here we go. Elon, stop lying. Stop lying to the people. You know good doggone well that wasn't no SpaceX out there. Huh? you know SpaceX said you don't even take that route. Huh? That's a shame. That's a shame. Uh,
Ready, voicing back. Who sent you? Why?
Matthew 11,
Leaves us in
Revelations 13, and Federal Register document